Good morning. This webinar offers closed captioning. To enable closed captioning, click on the live transcript button on the bottom of your screen and choose your preferred method. Welcome to the Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection webinar. Please note any website or email that I mention will be posted in the chat box. For those seeking business licensing assistance, you can visit the Small Business Center at City Hall or call 312-74-GO-BIZ. Also, business licenses can be applied for or renewed online at chicagobusinessdirect.org. If you are part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you can get credit for joining this webinar by sending an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. If you want to learn about the program, please visit chicago.gov/businesseducation. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be available at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. I will post the mentioned information in the chat box. We encourage attendees to ask questions. Please use the chat box to send your questions. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Please note that the views, information, and opinions expressed during this webinar are solely those of the presenter and do not necessarily represent the official policy or position of the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection or the City of Chicago. Today's webinar will be How to Build a Website in Less than 2 Hours, Hands-on, Step-by-Step, presented by Fernando Nunez from Foster Maven. Fernando?
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen here so we can get started. Alrighty, can everyone see that okay? All right. Alrighty, guys, so thank you very much for joining. So today we're going to be discussing how to build a business website and how you can do it yourself in under 2 hours. We're going to be discussing the different platforms. Well, the one platform that we're going to be using, but I'm also going to give you examples of other ones that you can use. So just because I'm showing you this one today, there are other companies out there that you can use, and I'll give you those examples. So just start off a little bit about me and my background so you get to know who I am. My background comes in the service industries mostly. Currently in the pet grooming salons here in the local Chicago area, working in one and then also consulting other ones in the area. Prior to that, I was also with doing exterior commercial construction and then building restaurants here in the Chicagoland area. So I've actually taken these companies and these businesses that I've worked with either for myself or for someone else and kind of gathered that knowledge and always found that websites were the core of most of these companies. So as we go through this, these websites that we build, it can be applied into any industry, really. You just got to change the information in the pictures pretty much. And that's what makes it different. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. So what kind of business should have a website? You're either going to be a service-based business or you're going to be product-based. You're going to provide something hands-on, or you're going to sell an item, right? For example, if you're a restaurant, construction, if you're in the legal industry, if you have your own beauty or barbershop, other service professionals such as cleaning companies and IT companies. So all these are service-based. Okay, on the product side, for example, you have your clothing, bags, accessories, handmade items right now are becoming popular. For example, things that get sold on Etsy.com. Resell items, people that buy things that are either new or used, and they do what's called resale arbitrage. They just sell the items that they purchased. Or wholesale or drop shipping. Okay, so if you don't fall under one of these categories, I couldn't list them all, but every single business should have a website to provide their information and to sell their products and services. Okay, so what is a website and why is it important for my business to have one? And so here's a couple pointers from the client's point of view. All right, so if your customer is looking for your business and your products and services, here how it makes it easier for them. A website is always going to give 24-hour access to your business, right? If someone is web surfing and then they're on their computer at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and they want to see or look up pricing for services that you offer, you don't have to be awake, right? The services is always being there. It's always on 24 hours. Okay, it's going to provide information about your products and services at an instant when someone's looking to get that information. Your clients are also learn how to do business with you. For example, some people work out of their home, or some people work from a shop. right? So the clients know how to access you, how to get to you, and how they can actually purchase things from you, right? So, and that can be done through your website. Clients can actually place orders or book appointments on your website. And through your photo gallery, they can see your past work, right? Some social proof, some proof that you have experience in the field that you're working in. So these are some of the benefits that a website provides to your clients. Now, what does a website provide to you as a business owner, right? A website is actually going to reduce time-consuming repetitive tasks that are done every time someone calls you or someone comes into your store. They're always going to ask the similar questions most of the time. So when you have a website, you can answer all those questions all at once, all the time, because it's always available. All right. A website can increase your sales and your revenue through online bookings and then through your e-commerce platform. Okay. So you don't just have to sell in person. You can also sell online. Anytime you need to make changes to your business, a website is a great way to distribute new information, right, to your client. If you're going to be closed on certain dates, if you have new products coming out, if you have a launch of a new service that's going to come out, you know, you can go on your website and change this information at an instant and disperse it to your social media or to whatever other platforms you use. I actually use a website to teach my mentees on how they can develop their business plan, their vision, because a website kind of gives you a visual representation of what your vision is for your company, right? So you can also use it in that way. And today we're going to be doing only 5 pages just to get everybody started. But once you have those 5 pages and you're building this site, you can have pretty much an unlimited amount of pages. So 5 to start, but then as you're growing or as you find that you need more information to give to your clients, you can expand on the pages that are on your site. Once this is done, other things that you can do with your website, such as a CRM, connecting it to a customer relationship manager, for example, such as HubSpot or other ones that are related to your industry. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. A site can also take payments with a credit card processor that you use, such as Square.com. You can take appointments, whether it's for grooming, a barbershop, reservations for a restaurant. You can also take orders. Everyone knows right now we're using Uber Eats, we're using Postmates, all these online order taking platforms that can be connected and integrated into your website. All right, so these are just a couple of examples of why it benefits you as a business owner and for your business to have a website. Now, what are the different ways a website can be built? If you hire a website developer, right, they're most likely going to build it on one of these 4 or other ones platforms. They require a more in-depth education because you do have to know how to code. There are some templates that come with WordPress, for example, that you can use, but you still have to know how to code. And if you hire it out, you could be spending hundreds to, hundreds of thousands, depending on how big the website does and what you need it to do. For example, Facebook has spent $7 million on building Facebook so far, and that's just building it out, right? So for example, if you do it a DIY website building platform yourself, you're going to be spending somewhere underneath $20 to $100 a month, depending on how much you need it to do. For example, if you want it to just have an educational website where you're just providing information and you're not selling actual products out of there, that's not an e-commerce, those are usually under $20 a month. When you start integrating e-commerce and you're selling products out of your website, now you're paying for additional use of their platform, and we're going to go through that. Okay, so the DIY website building platform is minimal education required. You just need a little bit of practice to learn how to use the software. But they've made these softwares easy enough for you to understand, and you can learn it fairly easy, and I'll show you how. So the platform that we're going to be using today is actually Godaddy.com. There's no affiliation, it's just a platform that I like to use because out of all the other ones I've built on, this one's been the easiest so far for me to be able to use. So I'm going to show you how to use that one. So we're going to do a little bit of an overview of Godaddy.com. I'm going to show you how you can open your account and you can start building your site. They give you 7 days to build your website for free and kind of test it out to see if you even like it. If you don't ever have to pay or put in a credit card or anything like that. And then we're going to go through a little bit of their pricing standards, for example, for what is a standard website versus the little bit extra that you pay for an e-commerce website. Okay. So when you're getting started, how do I pick the right name for my website? These are just a couple pointers because sometimes I see some website names that are either really too long or they don't make sense and they don't fit with the company. So when you're making a .com, for example, you should keep it as short as possible. I like to keep it to no more than 2 words, possibly 3, right? Because you're also going to be able to use this website as your email address. Okay, so you don't want a super long word that people can't remember unless it's on a business card, for example. You want to involve your business name in the title, in the .com if possible, or involve the location. Okay, and I'll give you some examples in a second. You want to use something that's easy to read and words that aren't difficult to remember. Now, your .com address does not have to have your business name in it. Okay, for example, my company's Foster Maven. I don't have to have fostermaven.com, right? It can be something else that has to do with the industry or the location. Why does this matter? When you make your website, it gets submitted to all the search engines, right? And if you're putting in, for example, Chicago Groomer, then now Google knows that my website most likely has to do with grooming in Chicago, right? So that's why you want to keep your name relevant and nice and short, okay? So for this example, we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building a site in the pet industry. We're going to be located in Chicago, and the services that we're going to offer is pet grooming, okay? Now, again, this is just an example. You can change all the information and it can be, this website can have to do with international shipping if you wanted to. All you got to do is change the words and the pictures pretty much. Okay. So when we start building this site, these are the first 5 pages that we're going to build. Okay. The mock business is called Chicago Dog Groomer. Now, underneath, I give you a couple of examples of how the website could be formulated. Sometimes your site might already be taken. The .com might already be taken or owned by another company. Okay. So unfortunately, you won't be able to have that one. So you're going to have to change it. So for example, here in the first one, I put chicagodoggroomer.com, chicagogroomer.com, shygroomer.com, right? And so everyone that lives in Chicago, they know the CHI, right? And what it stands for. So you kind of pick something like that along those terms that has to do with your business and with your industry. But again, it doesn't have to be the name of your business. If it is, great, but if it's not, then that's okay too. The 5 pages that we're going to be building today are the home page, the About Us page, products and services, photo gallery, and the contact us page. Okay, so from right from here, we're going to go on to the actual platform we're going to start building. This first home page is going to be like what we call a landing page. It's going to be a page where most of your information is going to be about your business. And underneath is a sample or a kind of structure that you can build off of. Now, you can build your site however you like, but this is the best kind of flow that I found works for myself and for the clients that I've worked for in the past. So again, your homepage is going to be your landing page for most of your customers, and it's going to provide the majority of your information. On the homepage, you want to introduce your business and how your products or services can solve problems. Remember, this website isn't just about selling. It's about providing information to your potential clients on what you can do for them to solve the problems that they have, right? And that's whether it's through a product or a service. I like to put 6 main reasons why you should do business with us. I like to put in a little bit of social proof, add a review. When we get to the review part, if you don't have a review yet, if you're a fairly new company or you haven't started, that's okay. You'll get one soon enough. Just leave that part out. Do not make one up, because the people can't find out. All they got to do is Google your review, and if it's not there, then it's not good for you. So if you don't have one, don't put it in until you get one, right? And then after that, we like to put in something I call you set the standards, and I'll show you what that is. And we're always on our website, we're always trying to inform the client how to do business with you. This is where most people fall short. They create this nice, beautiful website, but they don't add any buttons or any links, or they don't provide the clients any direction on what to actually do from their website. Okay, so from here, I'm going to change screens and we're going to go to Godaddy.com. All right, so up here, if you just go to your search bar and just go to Godaddy.com, it'll bring you to this front page. Okay, this is the main page that you're going to get started on. Now, I'm already logged in. And so I already have an account. Okay, but if you're brand new, you can go up here on the top left and it says websites. You click on websites. And on the left-hand side, you click on website builder. Okay, you start for free. Now, GoDaddy is going to allow you to have 7 days to build your site without charging you anything. Okay, now right here, we're going to go to click a new site. Now, these are the options that you're going to be able to start with. Now, whichever one you choose, you're still going to be able to have the functionality of the other ones. This is just so GoDaddy knows how to start your website off. Okay, so we're just going to click on start with a basic website. Okay, now what kind of website do you want? So this is going to be industry specific. So what industry are you in? It's what you're putting in here. That's rumor. And then here you can select the template. So these are what are called themes or templates. Actually, I'm sorry, they just changed this on me. Normally it's not like this. So you'll look through it and then you'll find, you know, what a theme or the way that a website looks, and you can change it. You can pick one. If you don't like it, later on you can change it without losing any information. So here, what should we call your website? We're just going to call it Chicago.
Fernando, we can't always see is the homepage.
The homepage?
That's all we're seeing right now.
Oh, it didn't let's see. It didn't change the screen when I changed it.
No, this
Sorry. Let me see. Okay. Okay, can you see right here where it says now, what should we?
yes. Yes.
Okay. You know what, so that, I'm sorry, guys, let me backtrack a little bit. I didn't know that's didn't change. Real quick, for those that obviously know what I'm talking. I'll just start. Okay, so this is the page, I'm sorry, guys, this is the page that we're going to Godaddy.com. Real quick, on the top left-hand side, you're going to click on websites. On the left-hand side here, you're going to click on website builder. When you get to this page, you're going to click on start for free. Start a new site. Start with the basic site. Again, you can pick any one of them, but this is the best one because it's the easiest to start off with. But you can do any of these services with any of these buttons. Site. Okay. Tech Boomer. You go to next. And then right here, it just allows to the kind of flow that you want your template for. So dog grooming, pet grooming is a professional service. So I'm going to click that. But again, here you can choose if you're in real estate, music, photography, whatever you want, and it's going to give it that feel of that industry that you're in. Okay, so we're going to go to pet services, and then I picked this one, the caterer. Okay. Okay, so right now what it's doing is it's kind of gathering all the information. It knows that I'm a pet groomer, and it knows that I'm in Chicago. So now it's going to pull all the files of what it feels the best layout is to get you started, right? But we're going to pretty much change all the information that they're going to give us, but they're going to start you off with the sample. When you get started and it loads it for you, if you like what's there, you can just keep it and then change the words and add to it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so we're going to change all this information. So before we actually get into building it, I'm going to talk about the theme. On the top right-hand side here, in the middle, it says theme. You click on that, and here's where you can change how it looks. You click on try a new look. And then here's how you can change how it actually looks, if the picture is bigger or smaller, if you don't want a picture in there, where they're located. So like, let's say you spent 10 hours building your site and it looks great, but something is off and you just don't like how it looks, or you want a different look. After it's all done, you can come back in here and then change the style of it, and it still saves your information. I like to use, in my personal opinion, I like to use one like this, where you have a picture on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side, and then with some words, because in here, we're going to be able to add what's called an action button. And then
Fernando, can you go back a little bit? They're saying you're going a little fast. They just want to make sure that they got that last step.
gotcha. Yep, I'll show you guys how to get, all right, so how I got,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
okay, no problem. So how I got here. On the top right-hand side, this is the main page after GoDaddy kind of built the initial shell for us, right? On the top right-hand side, you're going to click on theme. And this is going to pop up and it's going to try a new look. Now here, again, you're going to be able to choose, how it looks. Now, the ones on top here, in my opinion, I don't like these because the menu bar, it's difficult to see because it's blended into the picture and the words are white. I like these where the picture is separate and the menu is separate because it's more legible and clearer to see. So we're going to choose this one. We're going to select it. And then if you have company colors, here's where you can change your color. Click on color. Now let's make it, let's make it, because we're dark gray. So this one's just going to be more of a purple site. And then this right here, if you guys see this number, after you choose your color, this right here is a code that you can use if you're getting banners made, if you're getting cards made, for example, your business cards made on vistaprint.com, or you're getting hats made. If you provide this to whatever company you're working with, this is the number of this color. Okay. And so you hold on to that, you save that, you write it down, and you can use this. And now all of your other merchandise is going to match the color of your website. Okay, so you kind of keep that the same. All right, so we chose that color. Here's our number. We leave that alone now. And then here's how we can change the wording, how the words look. I tend to stay away from cursive words because sometimes they're too close together and more difficult to read. So I like to use large font with skinny letters, right? Because for me, they're more legible, but whatever you like to choose, you can play around with these, okay? So that's your fonts. And the last thing that you're gonna be able to customize is these buttons where it says book now. You have buttons all over the place, okay? So here's where you can change the style. You click down. Now you have a primary button, which is on the top of the screen. And then you have a secondary button, which usually is in the body of the page, okay? So we're going to change our primary button. So here they show you the different styles. The solid, square, and round. You pick one of those, or the hollow layer, square and round. This one's my favorite one that I like to use. When you use a clear one, when you hover over it, it turns solid. Okay. So one can see that. So that's the one I like to use. But again, there's no right or wrong with these. It's just whichever one you like to use for your site. Okay. All right, so that's all the tabs under theme. Okay, so this is going to change the look. All right, so now if on over here we click on website again, this is going to be your navigation bar. Okay, so now what are we going to put in our navigation? Let's see. Okay. So on our main page, we're going to have the home page, the about page, products and services, photo gallery, and then contact us. So right now we're working on the home page, but we're going to add these other 4 pages. Okay. You still see my screen okay? You guys still see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so now we're back here. All right, so we have the book now, menu, and gallery. I'm gonna erase all these. Okay, here's how you erase them. On the right-hand side, you have settings, and then we're gonna reinstall, so I can show you how to reinstall them. The home one, you're gonna leave alone. Okay, that's already your home page. So you're on the right-hand side, you're gonna click on the cog, you're gonna delete page, delete. Settings, delete. Okay, so now we just have one page. And you notice the top of the menu bar is all gone. So now we're gonna add, this one's already home, so we're gonna not redo that one. We're gonna add a new page. So you're gonna click on this plus sign on the top right, click on new page. And we're always gonna click blank because we're gonna build our own, and you're gonna create page. And then this one is going to be about us. Now, on this right-hand side, if you click on this toggle, it's going to show it on your main top navigation bar. If you unclick it, it goes away. Okay, click it, it shows up. If you scroll to the bottom of your website, you can also put it in the footer. So you see how you have About Us on the top and About Us on the bottom. Now, why is that important? Your page is only going to have, your website's only going to have 5 pages to start off with. But let's say later on you're building and building and you end up having 20 pages. Well, you can't put 20 pages on the top menu bar. It has a limit, and then it's just going to create a drop-down box at some point, whatever that limit is. But on the bottom, you can show all of your pages. Sometimes people know that you can go to the bottom of your website and it's a map. Okay, it's like a website map. It shows you all the pages that are available, and maybe they can't find it navigating through your website, but they can find it on the bottom or on the footer. So I like to put every page that I create, unless I don't want it there, but I like to put every page that I create both in the top menu bar and in the footer. Okay. So these are single pages. I'm gonna show you how to do a drop-down menu too. You're gonna click done. And this one's right here, this last one's a private page. This one is if you don't want it, you want to just have a page that's only you can see, or you only share to your clients or specific people. They're only allowed to see the link that you give them. But if not, then just don't click private page, leave it alone. Click done, we're gonna add another page. We're gonna click the plus sign, new page. On this one, we're gonna click blank as well, create page. This one's gonna be products. Okay, so again, it's already in the main navigation. On the bottom down here, it's not showing up. Once I click it, bam, there it is, products and services. We're gonna go to done. We're gonna add another one. So the plus sign again, new page, blank, we're gonna leave that one alone, create page. And then this one's gonna be our photo gallery. You can call it whatever you want to. You don't have to call it gallery. You don't have to call it photos. You can put see our work. Okay. So footer, done. And then one more. We're going to add page, create new page. This one, we're going to actually click on content, because it's going to be our contact us page. So what it does is these predetermined pages, it kind of already sets it up. You see how it already gives me operation hours, you know, if they wanted to contact us through email, and then I'm gonna show you here on this contact us page how you can also put your phone number and stuff like that. So again, it's in the navigation bar. Now we're going to put it in our footer. Okay, so now if we go to our footer, now we also see products and services here on contact. Right, here's an example of what it looks like on a site that's already built out that has a lot of pages. All right, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one has 13 pages. Okay, and it's all on the bottom. Right, but on the top of the menu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's only showing 7. Okay, so if you had all 13 on the top here, it'd be really crowded. Okay, so that was the difference. So that way you can see what the difference is between having them all listed on the bottom and then only the main ones on the top. And go done. Now we're not going to use a drop-down menu here, but I'm going to show you how to add one just in case some people want to do a drop-down menu. Now let's say you do have like 10 pages that you want to do. You're going to go to add, and then instead of new page, you're going to go to new drop-down. And this one's just an example. I'm going to take it off. So you title it what you wanted to do. Now let's say, for example, why would you want to drop down? Now, let's say you offer services, but you offer services in different areas or products in different areas, right? And you don't want them all on one website page. So you can do a drop down and then you can choose which pages you want in that drop down. So for example, I'm just going to click on these two, show and navigation, create menu. So now you see up here, it says drop down. Well, it says drop down, but you would call it something else. But when your clients click on it, now they see the other two sites that are on there, and it makes your top menu bar a little bit more cleaner. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the menu. And it deleted the menu, but it still kept my other pages that I made. Okay. So let's go back. If you click on the home page, it takes you back to the home page. So there's two ways you can build on here. You can scroll up and down and you can click on what you want to change. That's the great thing about this is you can just click on it. And then on the right-hand side, it brings up all the functionality that this individual picture can do. Okay. So let's start from the top. We need to change this picture. Now, GoDaddy is going to provide you thousands of pictures in your industry for you to choose from if you don't have your own. Okay. So if you don't have your own, no worries. You can just use some of theirs until you take your own pictures that you can load into your website. So right here, if you click on the picture again, on the right-hand side, it says cover media. You're going to click on cover media and you're going to go to change image. Okay, change image. Click on change image. And these are all the pictures that have already been loaded. Okay, so it already knows that we're a dog grooming company, so it's automatically going to give me some stock photos of dog grooming. Now you can go to the search bar, and now let's say, just for example, you're a car mechanic, just so you guys can get an idea. Now see all the stock photos that we get as car mechanics. So if you don't have any pictures, that's okay. Use the ones that they give you. You don't have to pay anything for them. There's 339 pictures to choose from here, right? So let's go back to grooming. So on this front page, let's just add this. You're going to click on the picture you want, insert it, and then bam, now there's your new picture. Now, how do you do it if you already do have your own pictures? You're going to change image again, add images. And then you find in your file folder, your pictures, right? You click one, open. And then now let's see how it's already clicked. You insert it. And then bam, filter. Okay. All right, so that's your main picture on the top. Now on the right-hand side, depending on your industry, you want to write a hook, something that's is a problem that your customers have, but a solution that you're going to provide. So we're a dog groomer in Chicago. Okay. All right. So we have a headline, and they kind of get the idea. Okay, Chicago dog groomer, picture of a person grooming a dog, have a dirty dog, book an appointment today. And then we also tell them, to take a look at the other services and products that we provide. Now, here's an action button. Now, here's where most people fall short. This action button, sometimes people don't put it on there. And so you're not telling your customers what to actually do from your website. Okay, so from here, you can either change it right here on the website itself, or again, you can also do everything that's in this section on the right-hand side. It just gives you two different ways to do it. So if we click on this button, it opens up this page right now, and it has a drop down. So we open that up, and then we can change it to whatever we want. Okay. Now here with that button is gonna send them to another page. You can either send them to another page within your website. For example, this page is gonna go to the Contact Us page. Okay. Or if you have a booking software, you can send them to that booking software with the URL. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but then you click website URL, and then here's where you put the the .com for your booking software. Okay, but for right now, we just want them to schedule a grooming. We want them to send them to a page, and we want to send them to the contact us page. We click on done. Now we're done with this top section right here. Now this is the preloaded stuff that comes from GoDaddy because they, this is what they thought you might like. But we're going to delete it all because we're going to start from scratch. All right. So if every time you go into a new section, you see a green bordered box, a green bordered box around the outside. If you go to the top right-hand side of that box, you have settings. So here you have settings, and then these arrows will move this box section either up or down. So if I click down, it's going to move it underneath the one that was just there. If I click up, it's going to move it off the page. Okay. So here we're going to delete it. I'm going to click on the three dots, settings, delete section, delete. We're going to delete this one too. Delete this one. Okay. So I'm left with the website that has no information, right? It's all blank. You just have the header on the top with the button. Okay. So if you go underneath that section, you want to add a section 2. Sometimes this button doesn't show up and it's just a green line. You can click on the green line, or if the button does show up when you're working on it, you can click on add section. All right, so we're going to add section. We're going to add some content. We're going to introduce ourselves and our business and what we do and the problems that we solve. So again, you're on your site, you're going to click on add section, and this window is going to pop up on the right-hand side. Okay. If you go to general and then go to content, this one's the one that you're going to use the most, right? Because you're going to mostly be putting content about your products or services that you're providing. Okay. So you can look and see which kind of format you like, which layout. You can play around with them. You can add them, you can delete them. All right. So we're going to start off with this guy right here, ideal for long block of text. So you click on it, you're going to add. Okay. Now, how should this page be laid out? Let's go back to right here. All right. All right, so on the home page, we're on the home page again. So we built out the main pages: home, about, product, services, photo gallery, and contact us. Okay, so now we're on the home page. Now, again, reminder, what are we going to do? We're going to introduce our business and how our product service can solve problems, 6 main reasons to do business with us, a little bit of social proof, setting the standards, and inform clients how to do business with you. So we're starting on this part: introduce your business and your products. So I've already had some information that I typed out in the sake of time. So I'm going to grab that real quick. This is something that I already typed out. So, all right, so here we're going to delete all these words. And we're going to paste what I already have. All right, so here's the main paragraph right here. And then up here, you have your content, how you're going to introduce what you're telling them. Okay, so in the site content, we're going to write and you can change the style right here. Anytime you're in a block, you can click down this drop down. And when you're doing a header on the top of the page, you want to use either style 1 or style 2. Let's go with style 1, and it makes a big boom, right? That's the purpose of this section. And now this is the second header, the subheader. This one we're going to do style 2. Right, I'm writing in here just a sample of what you would write in here for your business. Okay. Now, when you're typing, it's going to give you just standard text, but you can make it look better. You can make it look nicer and make the bold words bold. other letters that you want bigger or smaller. Right? You can do that either here in the box itself, or again, if you go over to the right, again, it'll allow you to customize everything else here. Now, if you're used to Microsoft Word or Google Docs, you know, it's all the same. Right? This one, it's already been bolded for you and everything, but for example, you're going to highlight the words that you want. You can turn the bold on, turn the bold off. If you want to italicize, right there. Okay. So here's an example of what we're going to be providing information to the clients when they first go on a page. And you can do this for your industry too. You want to ask them questions that's going to intrigue them, or they know that it's a problem that they have that you're trying to solve. For example, have you been searching for a caring groomer in your neighborhood? Are you worried about leaving your pet with a new groomer that could cause stress and emotional unrest? Here's our solution, right? We have designed our facilities and appointments to allow for relaxing one-on-one time with your certified groomer, right? So something along those terms. And you can use, I'm gonna give you some sample websites where you can kind of follow the structure, and you can ask similar questions, but that are geared more towards your customers. Okay, so that's the top part. Now, what do we got to add? All right, so now we're going to introduce 6 main reasons to do business with you. Okay, so we're done with this top section. All right, we're done with this top section, so we're going to go to add section. And again, we're going to go to general, content. And then here, we're going to add these 6 reasons, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this one, featured categories with image. And so here, what are you going to put? Here, you're going to put and we're going to change the font style too. Remember, 1 or 2, you want it nice and big so that people can see it. Okay. So from here, you have this first section that is white, and you have another section that's going to teach them new information. If you click on this second section, on the right-hand side, you see where it says accent. Now, what does that do? If you leave it white, it shows it like this. If you click black, it changes the kind of style that is showing the color. This particular choice will actually change the colors of the individual boxes. In other sections that you're adding, it'll change the whole background, purple or black or whichever accent you choose. Okay. So here, you're going to write down 6 reasons of what makes you unique to your industry, to the people around you. Why are you important? What sets you apart? What's your value proposition, right? So, for example, grooming. Products. Right, and then in there you can change your pictures, and then you can put in, a little bit more of a description. Now, when it comes to these descriptions, remember you have other whole pages to be able to describe what the service is that you're providing. So here you want to have it no more than 3 sentences, and then you want to keep the sentences themselves short, around 6 to 8 words each sentence, right? Because you're going to have more space later on to get in depth. This is just a quick snapshot of what you're doing, right? So again, how do we get in here, but how do we change these pictures, right? Again, you can click on the picture itself, and on the right-hand side, it's going to, bring you the additional services. You can change image, and then you pick the image that you want. You can either load your own, or you can choose to stop. Click it, insert, you change it. Now here on the picture itself, you can zoom in and out. Okay. And then if you're zoomed in, you can also adjust the picture. Okay. All right. Okay, so these are the 6 reasons why to do business with us, right? And then so on and so forth. So on the last block, we're going to do another action item. All right, so if you click on this last block, On this right-hand side, you can either click on it on the screen here, or if you see selection groups, you can actually add 12 of these boxes per section, right? So, but I like to use just 6. All right, so this one is display their FAQs. If you see on the bottom right-hand side here, it says display their FAQs. We're going to click on that. And each box, you can actually add an action button. We're going to click on action button and we're going to turn it on. Right now it's off. Turn it on. And then bam, right here it says find out more. But what we want them to do is we don't want them to find out more. I think we know they know enough. We want them to book an appointment. All right. So you got to tell your client what you want them to do. Right. If you want them to sign up for a subscription, if you want them to buy your shampoo products, if you have a book that you just released and you want them to buy the book on Amazon.com or for something, for example, here's where you can tell them. Okay. So here we're dog groomers, so we want them to schedule an appointment. Spa appointment. Okay. And then how do they do that? We're going to send them to another page on our website, and we want them to call us. So we want them to contact us. All right. And you click done, and then that's it. So that's this section. All right. So now we're going to keep going. All right. So we've done the 6 main reasons. Now we're going to add some social proof. All right. So add section. And then let me see where this one goes. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to add section, and then we're going to go to general. And then if you scroll down, it says quote. Here's 3 examples of quotes, right? Let's just use this guy in the middle. Okay. Now, again, when it comes to doing a review, if you don't have a review, don't put one up, because it's really easy for someone to go on Google, especially if you said it was from Google, and for them to look up the reviews to see if it's honest, if it's true what you said, or if it was just a purchased review, for example. You don't want to do that, because then that discredits your company, right? So if you don't have one, get a customer and then ask them for a review, and then bam, you can use that there. Okay. I'm just making this one up just for an example. Okay. Okay. So again, when you're putting in someone's review, if you're using it, don't use their last name, just for privacy, keep it private. Just, you can use their initial, or you can even use, I just like to use their last initial, right? First name, last initial. Now, if someone goes to Google and looks up my company and they see that Kathy actually did leave this review and it was a 5-star, great service, bam, you got some social proof. You have someone else that has used your service before, that enjoyed working with you, and now they recommended you, right? Now that's what social proof is. Right, on this right-hand side, we're going to change this picture. Again, we're going to click on the picture and it brings us to this area. And then let's just pick this guy right here. Insert it. Now here you can put the picture of the actual pet or the product, that you sold or serviced. And so that's your social proof right there, right? And you want to scatter these all throughout your other website pages and stuff. Okay. All right, so now we're going to set the standards. So we're just going to provide a little bit more information, all right, about our business. So we're going to add section. We're going to go to general, content. And instead of picking the one with pictures, since we already did that, we're going to pick the one right underneath it without pictures. We're going to add that there. And then here's an example. Drawing blank. Sorry. All right. And we're going to change the font, right, to make it bigger. Okay. So from here, this one is the same thing, but it doesn't have pictures, but you're just gonna write another 6 key items of what makes your product or your service unique or special. Why should they care? You know, why you over the people down the street, or why you over someone else that's selling online? Okay. So here's where you can put that kind of stuff. And same thing on the last square, we're going to click on it. On the right hand side, it brings us this drop down to display their FAQs. See right here, display their FAQs. You're going to click on the arrow, and we're going to add an action button. Turn it on, and then here it is. Appointment. We're going to link it to a page, and we want them to go to the contact us page. All right. Now, let's say, for example, if this other one was just pictures and you wanted to send them to your photo gallery, and you can say, see our work, then you can put see our work right here, and then you can send them to your see our work page. Okay. So it doesn't always have to be contacted, but you want to give them something to do. All right, so we're going to go to done. Okay, book appointment. And so now here's another 6 great topics, another 6 great reasons why you should choose us when buying your product or service. Okay. And then lastly, for this homepage, we're going to inform our clients how to do business with you. Right. So we're going to actually add a contact portion on the bottom of our section. And this will be the last section of this homepage. So we're going to add section. And then we're going to go to contact us. And so there's different ways people can contact you. If you have a physical brick and mortar, then you can choose one with a map, because it'll help them if they're on your website and on their cell phone, they can just click on it and it'll automatically load to their iMaps or to Google Maps, whatever map system they're using. It'll give them an easier way to use that with you. Now, if you don't have a physical location, then don't choose one with the map. Let's just take this one, for example. All right, so here I have a question, pretty much you're going to know in your industry what common questions your clients are going to have. So in here, for the dog grooming world, people always have questions about pricing for sizes. All right, so and then here's your form. Now this form, how it's set up right now, this is probably all you want to have. The only thing you could add to the form would be maybe if you wanted to have them send you their phone number. So how do you do that? We're already in this section right now. On the right-hand side, if you click on it, okay, now it brings it up. Okay, all right, so the right-hand side, you click on it, and then over here, it's going to bring up all the functionality of it. All right, so here it says contact form, which is what this is right here. So you click on the contact form, it's going to give you all the specific changes that you can do to it. Here's the title. Have a question on pricing. Email us, which is this right here. If you wanted to go to a different email other than the email that you signed up with, then you put that email here. And then this is the message that they will get once they hit submit. They're going to get this message is going to populate right here. And so if you get back with them within 24 hours or you need longer time, then you change that there. And then if you are planning on emailing your customers and doing some email marketing, you can click turn on this button. And if you see right here in the middle of the screen, it says sign up for our email list for updates, promotions, and more. Okay, so this is a good way if you're planning on doing email marketing to add that too. Okay, you can also change the message that you give them when they're opting in. Now, this was the area I wanted to get to. So the form fields. Right now we have 5. Your email, or your name, your email, the message, and if you have any attachments you can attach, and then the send button. But we're going to add one, and we're going to call it phone number. Okay. And then here we kind of tell it what information is going to go in there. So if it's going to be numbers or if it's going to be words. Single text line is this one right here, like your name or your email, for example. Multi-line text is this one right here, where it's going to be multiple sentences, for example, in the message box. Or we know this one's a phone number, so we're going to click on phone number. And then you can make it required to where they have to give you their phone number, or if they don't give it to you, then that's okay too. The more you force your clients to give you information, the less likely they're going to provide that to you. So I wouldn't put more than name, email, or phone number unless your company requires it because you need certain information from them, such as age or location. It depends on what your products and services are, right? So let's go ahead and make it required because they reached out to us, and then when we're ready, we have to call them. So we need a phone number to call. So I'm gonna make it mandatory. I'm gonna go to done. You know what? I don't want it all the way down here on the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on it again on this general area, the contact form, the drop down. I'm gonna scroll down. And then you see these two little lines. You can click and hold, and you can drag the order. So this phone number, I'm gonna click and hold it. I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna let it go. And now you see you have your name, phone number, email, and message. Because before it was down here underneath the message. So I don't like that. Put it up here. Okay. And you scroll down, and then all this extra stuff, if you have hours of operation, if you're open 24 hours or whatever it is, you can leave it there and you can put your hours. You can click on it. And then here you can go individually one by one and put either your hours of operation if you're closed that day, or if it's by appointment only. And you can make them all by appointment only, or however your operations work. And so any of these you can click and you can customize it and change it to wherever you like. Okay. So that's the conclusion of the homepage. All right. So now when a customer comes in, this is where they're going to see when they land. Have a dirty dog, book an appointment today. Okay, cool. Okay, here's some issues that I have. I can't leave my pet with this groomer because every time I pick them up, they're always freaking out at home, right? So, okay, so they like to provide a nice, safe environment, all right? And another 6 reasons of why they should do business with us. After I've read this, okay, look, I think I've got enough information. I'm gonna go ahead and schedule an appointment. Or if I haven't had enough information, I'm gonna keep scrolling down, reading some more. Oh, look at that, there's some social proof. Some more reasons why we should do business with them, another action button. And then at the bottom, here's a question form. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, so now we're done with the homepage. All right, on the About Us page. On the About Us page, here's the page where your clients want to know about you and how your business came to be. Here you can talk about yourself, how you got started, where you want to take your business. You can talk about your history, your experience, education, the beliefs that you're trying to steer your company towards, your values, and your mission statement if you want to put it on there. Okay, so this is going to be the About Us page that we're going to work on next. Okay, so on the top. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take two questions right now. That has to do with the homepage, and then we'll keep moving forward.
Lots and lots of questions.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to answer a couple right now and see what I can answer for people. So I'll take 2 right now.
Okay, are you gonna look and see which ones you want to grab, or?
Oh, okay. Let me see. All right. Trying to find this.
I do have one here. Sorry if I missed it, but are all the sections built in? They're already there on a basic build?
Yes, all these sections are available no matter, remember in the beginning where you can choose the 5 different ways you can start your website. No matter which one you choose, all these sections are available to all of the options, all of the themes, everything. So anytime you click on add section, all these sections right here are available to any style of website. The reason they ask you why you want it the other way is they try to make it easy for you and set up your initial page in the easiest way possible. But if you don't have what you want, you can come in here and any page and then and then add any sections.
Great. Next one, can you tell us about getting a domain name? Do we get that through GoDaddy or other website providers?
Yes, so the domain name is, let's see, if we go to, just so, go to Godaddy.com. You can, if you create your account, when you click on website and you go to website builder and it starts asking you for your business name, you can see if it's available first, right? So you, on the top left-hand side, if you click on domain names, search for domain name. And then here, let's go Chicago. Buy it. And it's going to tell me if it's available or if it's not available in just a second. Okay. So when it's like this, normally the domain names cost like the first year, they cost like $2, right? But here, this domain name is taken. Chicago Dog Groomer is taken. And then so they'll try to broker it. If you see it, they'll ask this company if they want to sell it, you know. So here's where you kind of got to change it and then see if you can find another name that kind of works. Once you find one, you can purchase it. See this one's available, shydoggroomer.com for $0.01. And it's available, you know, for the first 2 years, it's only a penny. After that, it's only like $15, I believe, like a year to keep your domain, or actually right here, it's $20 a year to keep it. So you go get it and then you pay for it and now it's in your account. If you want, you can build your site for free first. And then when you're, and I'll show you guys in a minute, once you're ready to launch and you're ready to move forward. Right now, if you use just the free stuff, this is what your domain name is going to be: chicagodoggroomer.godaddysites.com. This is the free part. When you pay for your website, this part right here, GoDaddy Sites, goes away and you're left with your actual domain name. Okay. So that's where you go to first look to see if your domain name is available. And again, how did I get there? On the main page, godaddy.com, domain names, search for domain name. And then here's where you kind of play around with the names until you pick one. Okay. All right. So thank you for those. We're going to keep moving forward. And then, so now we are, okay, on the About Us page. So on the top hand side, click on About Us. This page is empty. So we're going to add a section. So add a section, we're going to introduce ourselves. So we're going to go to General, Introduction. And then right here, I like to use one of these top twos. This one has a full picture on the left-hand side. This one has a smaller picture with the white border. So I'll choose this one, smaller picture with the white border. Now, every time your customer goes to a new page, I like to put an introduction at the top so they know what that page is about. Okay. And then here, you know, you tell them about your company, about you, and then what do we have right here? An action button again. All right, so you click on that action button. You want to send them to a page. You want to send them to the contact us page. I'm going to go done. Okay. And so right here, now they know that this page is, okay, we're going to learn more about them. Okay, look, right away, if you got to make it easy to do business with you, so you're going to click on schedule appointment. And then from here, we're going to continue to build. All right. And so what goes on this page? You can either put your history, your experience, your education, your beliefs, your values, or your mission. Most likely, you're going to put some information about your history and then possibly a little bit of information about yourself or about your team. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some about the history of the company. And then we're going to add a section where we're going to introduce our team. Okay. So how do we do that? We're going to go to add section. We're going to put general, about. And then right here is all the ones that you can use to do further about us, right? Some of it's a picture with longer text, some of it's a smaller picture, and then you have featured categories. So on the top, what we're going to do is we're going to add this one, use for summary or bio for the initial. Okay, we're going to change this picture. Click on this top right one. And then over on this hand side, you can add smaller sections. Each section is customizable, but we're going to make just one bigger paragraph. So I'm going to delete these two bottom ones and just have one bigger one at the top. So if you hover over each one of them, you see the trash can, click on the trash can, and deletes it. Delete. Delete. Okay. And then here, you do exactly what it says. You generate excitement. And then you write information about your history that makes it important for your clients to know about your experience, where you come from, what specialty knowledge you've acquired over the years, right? So you're going to put that here. And then we're going to add the same thing. If you wanted to, anytime you click on a section, you see this little guy pops up sometimes. Click on action button. And if you want to see where it's going to populate, boom, right? And now here's a good section where maybe it's not about booking an appointment, but you want them to see your past work. Okay, on this button, because we already have a scheduled appointment button right here. So on this one, I want them to see our work. We're going to send them to another page. We're going to send them to the see our work page, which is our photo gallery. Done. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be scheduled appointment, right? And so that's done. Now we're going to introduce our team. So again, we're going to click on the add section, click on general, scroll down a little bit, click on content. Oh no, sorry, click on about. And then I like to use either this one right here or the first one to introduce your team. Let's go with the second one. And then here, and then you put information, her bio, and then here you put whoever's on your team. Okay, a little bit of bio about your team. On the top side, you can tell them what it is. And then choose a bigger font style. So we're going to click this drop down. And remember, on the top headers, you either want to use 1 or 2. All right, style 5 is too small for headers. Click on 2. Team, we're going to change our pictures. Change item. Insert Sally. And click on remember, how do you change a picture? You click on the picture itself. This right-hand side will pop up, change image. Click on the picture you want, insert it. Click on this picture, change image. Okay, now here's our team. Okay. Now, the rest of these pages are going to be shorter, right? Because of the majority of your information is going to be on your home page and then on your products and services page, right? This one is just going to be providing a little bit more information to make your website look more full and more professional. So it gives them a little bit more information. And so in the beginning, if you don't have a lot of information, if you don't have employees, or if it's just you, you can just make it about you and then tell them about your experience until you start growing, and then you start hiring people if that's the plan. So don't think that just because you don't have a lot of information on this page that's bad, right? It's okay. You can just what matters more is the home page, the product services page, and the contact page, right? When it comes to the about us, your story is great, but most people are going to be go straight towards the products and services. They want to see what your prices are for what you sell, for example. Okay, so now we're done with this guy. So we're going to do on that one. All right, so products and services. So on the next page, on the product services page, you want it all to be about how to make a purchase with you, how people can get in contact with you, how they can book your services, how they can buy your stuff online if you're selling it online, or if you're telling them to go to a store, how they can get to that store to make that purchase. Or if you're selling digital information as well. So on the products and services page, you want to list your products and services. You want to describe them, provide pricing, how to buy, or how to book, right? That's the majority of what you do there. And then real quick, before I leave the page, did anyone have any questions on the About Us page?
I'm just looking at some other questions.
Right.
When doing headers and content, can you talk about how you place keywords to improve SEO?
Headers and content, yeah. So SEO, when it comes to SEO, right? That's a whole nother section of learning, right? On how to it's called copy. You're writing copy to make your website the most search optimizable, right? And what does that mean? Everything that you put, when it comes to, for example, like let me answer the question. When it comes to a header on a page, most of that has to do when it's done on a blog page, right? And when you're creating a blog or a virtual blog post, your header, which is this top part right here, style 1 or style 2. Style 1 is your header, style 2 is your subheader. That has to do with the topic of that page or that blog. And then you submit that page to Google for them to read it. And then that's how you start to rank up a website over time, right? What I would recommend is, all this information is changeable. You can customize it later on. Get the website built and then keep the topics relevant to that page that you're on. And then you would go out and learn how to optimize it with SEO. So that's a whole, but I can't explain that here because that's a whole nother couple hours of class, okay? But so this one, we're just showing you how to build it with the simple words, just so you have a website, then you can educate yourself further to make it better, right? Because it can always be improved upon. Okay, is there another question?
There is. Is there a cost to purchase images? How do they handle copyrights?
So these images that are in here, if you click on them, they're provided with the service, right? You're kind of already paying for it because you're paying for the monthly service through Godaddy. I haven't gone through the pricing yet, but for this basic site, for example, that we're building right now, you're paying no more than $17 or $18 a month, right, to use it. And so with that is included is all the images, and it doesn't just have to be in your industry. You can search whatever it is that you're looking for, and any of these you can use on your website. Can you use them? Now, they're not yours, you don't own them. So can you use them on social media and other platforms? No, right? Because they're not yours. They're meant to be used on GoDaddy. You can use them all over the place on GoDaddy and no problem. Or you can always upload your own as well, right? Or you can use another service such as like photostock.com to purchase images that you own, and now you can upload to your website that you can also use on a social media platform. Okay. So now we're going to keep moving forward. So that's in about us. Now we're going to go to products and services. Now, what are we missing here on the top? We're missing a header. So what we're going to do is we're going to save some time. We're going to go back to about us. I'm going to show you guys a trick. On the top hand side, if you click on these buttons, the three dots, the menu is going to drop down. It's going to go duplicate section. It's going to create another one of the same exact thing underneath it. Okay. So now I have two. If you click on the three dots again, you go to move section. And then this one's going to go to products and services. And we're going to move it and it disappears from here. And now if we go to our products and services, here we are, right? Now here, we're going to change everything. Products and services. And same thing here, you would change the description of, talking about your products and talking about your services that's relevant to your industry. And then again, an action item, go ahead and schedule an appointment. All right, so from here, this is your header, your introduction. Now we're going to add a section. So this is a service-based business. So we're going to add give me 1 second here. There it is. Okay. So you're going to go to, again, click add section, general. You scroll down, it says menu and price list. And then you can add a price list with pictures if you have products, or if you want to show pictures of your services, or if you want to just have a list type view. Okay, there's three to choose from. You can play around with them. So let's go ahead and pick the first one. And so I'm not going to fill out all these with services, but you guys kind of get the idea, right? This guy, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Style 1, menu and price list. Actually, no, but that's too big. Let's go to style 2. All right. And then this first category is going to kind of explain what it's about. You know, this one's about full grooming. And then maybe in all the full grooming, let's see, nails, ears, and just a little bit of information. And let's go small. Okay, and then you can add a little bit of description here. When it comes to your pricing, if you are a company that has to provide an estimate or a quote, or you can't provide a final price until you see or are with the customer, what you can do here, instead of putting just final prices, you can click on it and just put starting at $12. Copy this. I just copied and pasted that, you guys, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I just copied and pasted. Okay. Because, for example, for groomers, you know, if they call us over the phone, they say, I got a little dog, and we're thinking a little dog weighs 5 pounds, and they come out with a 50-pound dog, you know, that's not a little dog. So we don't want to provide a final price over the internet or over the phone. You know, now, if you have a product that the price is the price, now you can just leave that alone and just leave it at whatever your price is, right? And so here, again, maybe I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I'm going to change the accent. You see how the whole background goes brown, or brown, purple, black, right? And you can play around with it and change it. The reason I like to change the colors here and the accents is because it breaks up the page. So it's not all white all the way down, and it tells the client or the customer they're going into a new section. Okay, so from here, you know, here's your menu list. Now, let's say you have more items, or you want to create a separate item. You know, you can add another one of the same sections. And then you have to notice the little words that are in each section. Sometimes you can add extra stuff that you want the customer to know. Right. So things that you want them to know, right? And again, you can change this here. Anytime you click on it, you can also look on the right-hand side and then change it over here. All right, so this is our services page. Now let me see if it allows me to, now we're gonna add some products. Okay, so now the products page is the only part that's not done on this particular platform itself, because you have to load the products in the back end of Godaddy. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So right now I'm still logged in my account. You see my name up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this drop down. And then, like, let's say you've already started it. You haven't paid for anything yet, but you've already started your website. So you actually already have a product. You click on my products. And then here's everything that you have already started or set up. Now, for example, here's Chicago Dog Groomer. Click on that guy. And it brings me back here. So this isn't where, here's the difference. This is what it looks like when we're building the site. This is what it looks like when we're on the back end of the site. This is what the customer sees once your site is done. So this is kind of like a preview, right? This is what it looks like on a desktop. And if you want to see what it looks like on someone's cell phone, you have that option here too. Now, here's a good time to talk about this. Why do we put the button at the last of the 6 tabs, of the 6 options? Because when you're on a cell phone, if you put it like in the middle, for example, it's going to just show up in the middle of one of these tabs. So let me show you. So right now we're right here. Okay. So what I like to do is I put it at the end. And so there's your button, right? After they finished reading all the information you provided them, here's a button that they can click on and now move forward. All right. All right. So what were we talking about? We were talking about, now we're doing products. So you're on your dashboard. If you go to the top, it says commerce. You click that down. And right here on the left-hand side, ways to sell and your products, your categories, your orders. This is what, if you're selling online, this is what you have to go through to start loading your stuff and setting up your store and everything. So we're gonna go to products. Okay, so yeah, I didn't think it was gonna let me do it. This is the stuff that you're paying extra for to be able to, let me see, I'm just trying to see if it allows me to just sample it. Okay, all right, so here, I got it here. So you click on it and you go to online store and it brings you to this page, my online store. So before you can put a store on your website, you have to build and load all your product information first. So add products. And I might just do one or two. Okay, so yeah, so see, here's where you're gonna pay for, right? You gotta pay for, this is the free trial. So that's where you go to load the products that you're going to show on your website. Okay. So after they're loaded, let's just load for a second. All right, products and services. After this loaded, this is the services part. You're gonna go to add section. If we're gonna load on the right-hand side, you go to commerce. And you're gonna go to online store. So once your online store is operational, up and running, and you loaded all your products, they're gonna populate right now here on the online store. Okay, so you go to add. Right now we don't have any products there. So it's, let me see what it does. So this is like an additional feature. Okay, so it's not gonna let me do it, but that's how you add it. Let's go ahead and talk about the plans while it's here, because this one's important. All right, so you guys can see what you get. All right. So with this one, what we're building right now, everything that it allows you to do is $9.99 a month for the first, and that's a sample price. I believe that's for the first year. Then the regular price is $16.99. If you have an online store, so you can go through this, right? If someone asked about SEO earlier, you can pay GoDaddy to help you with the SEO. It'll grade your page and it'll tell you if you need to use easier words or better words, if you need to make changes or things like that, okay? If you are going to accept appointments, if you're a barber shop or something like that, you know, if you're a grooming shop, you can also accept appointments here. Now, if you're e-commerce, this is the one you're going to pay for. It's $16.99 a month for the first year, I believe. And then after that, it goes up to the $29. Yeah, right here. If you hover over it, it tells you how it works. And so for $17 a month for your first year, you can start your website and then you can sell online, take payments on there. The order will come through all that back end where I showed you. And that's pretty much, that's all it costs. You know, all it's going to cost you on top of that is your time. Okay. So this was the pricing for it. So again, the one we're building right here is the basic. If you want to add, depending on what your services or products you're offering, then you can go more and more. Okay. And then that's where it would show up right here. Your store, your online store would show up right there. Now, if some of you have a little bit more experience with this and you have, for example, Squarespace, or you're selling through Amazon and you just want to have a link sent to that platform that you're already using, here's what you can do. You're going to add section, and then you're going to go to general, and then we're going to go to content. This is a little bit of a trick. And then that one that we used earlier, for the 6 main reasons why you should do business with us, we're going to use that one again. So again, how did we get there? One more time, add section, general, content, and then it's this guy right here, featured categories with images. Now, this is a way to get around having to pay for the e-commerce if you don't want to do it with GoDaddy, if you already have it somewhere else, because you can just put in links, for example. Okay, so here I'm going to erase all of these paragraphs because we're not going to give them information about the product. We just want to give them price and a link. So I'm going to delete all these paragraphs here underneath all the pictures. Okay. And then I do have some samples that I'm going to put up here. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to put in my picture. So I'm going to add image. And then I got it right here. Open. It's going to load it. Insert. Okay. And then you're going to have to play around with the size of the pictures, right? Here. I'm going to change this picture. So you click on it, change image, add image, add new product, insert. I'm going to change the last one, click on picture, change image, add image. Now, some of you guys are asking, how am I getting these images? These are just saved. These are images that I have saved on my personal computer and my personal files, right? And so that's where I'm grabbing them from. So wherever you save your pictures for your products or your services, you know, that's where you're going to find them. Okay. Now, so I have all my products here. If I scroll to the bottom of this one, okay. All right, so let's find out how I got to this. All right, so if you click just in this general area, right, what I want to see on this right-hand side is this, where it says section groups 6 out of 12. That's the detail your services right here, detail your services. So we're gonna click on this one and we're gonna change the name. This one's smooth. Right, there's the media is the picture. We're going to add an action button. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to change the label to buy now. Now, here's where you can do. Instead of sending it to another page. Now, let's say if you wanted them to call you and they can order over the phone, then yeah, you can go to page and then you're going to go to contact, right? But if let's say we're selling this on Amazon, you're going to click on website. And then here's where you're going to put Amazon, whatever the product is at, Amazon.com/ Chicago grooming store, whatever it's called, right? And now people can click on it and it'll take them to that Amazon store. It'll take them to the Etsy store. It'll take them to the Fiverr store, wherever you're selling your products or your services. So let's do that one more time. How do we do that? Click on the general area. Now we're going to go to this one, announce incoming events, which is this guy right here. We're going to change the name to the actual product. Cool. All right, we're going to add an action button. We're going to turn it on. Change the label, buy now. I saw someone, a buddy of mine, I believe they're on this call, they released a book. And so if you have a digital product and you're selling it somewhere, this is a good way to do it as well. If you're selling it on Kindle, for example, if you have books and stuff that you're selling or digital programs that your educational stuff that you're selling, but you have it stored somewhere else, this is where you can go to change it. So you're going to go to URL, and now let's say this one's a digital product that we sell off of Kindle. And then you guys know what the URL is, what the website is where your products are being sold, for example. Okay. And then we're going to do this one. I'm going to add an action button. We're going to turn it on. fine now. And we're gonna send them to that's good. Right, if it's something that you did handmade, for example. Now, we got to add some pricing, right? Let's add a cost. So you can put that in the description. So how do you get to the description if you've already erased it? On the group side, if you click on the item itself, right here is a description. Now, these are products, so we know the products they cost what they cost. They don't go up or down. So we don't have to put starting at, for example. Okay. And so there you go. So that's this right here. So let's see how, if you want to see how it looks in front of a customer, on the top hand side, you can go preview. And that's going to take you to this page again. So this is how it looks on a desktop or on the laptop, and this is how it looks if someone's on a cell phone. Pay attention to this right-hand side, because most people are going to do it this way from their cell phone. So make it easy for your clients to do business with you. Don't make it too crowded. You know, if you see that it's not, the words don't fit, or it looks funny, you know, change it so it looks right. So right here, here's the services, for example. Let's say, for example, I'm on my cell phone right now, and I'm on the home page. Okay, this is the page that we first built earlier on. And now I want to go see the products. There's the drop-down menu, products and services. Okay, here's the groom. Okay, and so here's where it's going to happen. Click on, well, it's not live yet. So if I clicked on this, it would send me to this. This first one was Amazon.com. It would send me there, right? If I clicked on this one, it would take me to Etsy, etc. Right? So that's how it looks on the back end. So if you're ready to go back and start editing again, you just go click on the top right, it says edit site, and then it'll take you back. Okay. Okay, so now on the products page, we have our introduction, we have our services that we offer, and then you have your products. Right, and you can continue to add more if you click on the last guy, or if you have another one that's similar with the same picture or really close, you know, but you don't want to do it all over again. You can just click on the ad and it'll duplicate that same one, and you can just keep duplicating over and over and over. All right, because this section allows you to have 12 products. See, 12 out of 12. Now let's say I have 24 products. You know, I need more. So what you can do is you can either go to the top right and click on the 3 dots and duplicate this section, and now you have another 12. Or you can do the same thing over again on the bottom and click add section. And then you're going to go to general, content, and it's this guy right here, featured category. Now let's say this top section is about shampoo. And so I want people to know that that's, you know, all about shampoo, and then this other section is different, so I'm going to color it different. I'm going to change the accents on it, and then this one's going to be all about dog collars, right? And it'll all be all about dog collars. So now they can tell they're moving from one to another, and they can separate it visually because you're going from white to purple. Okay. Okay. So while we're on the products and services page, this is probably the one area where most people have the most questions on. So I'll take 4 questions on this section. We got a little bit of time.
Sure. Can you show how to put a link to social media?
Link to social media. Okay. So when it comes to social media, you can add it on the footer, or you can add it as a section. Okay. Now, in between two, you can break up sections as well. Let's say right here, between these 2 sections, I want to put a little photo gallery, or I want to put this. We're talking about social media, so let's add section. On this right-hand side, it says social. Click on social. You can actually have, if you have reviews through Google or through Facebook, you can click on reviews. But then here we're going to add social feed. And then if you have Instagram, you can pick one of these and see what the other ones are. So there's 2 ways. Let's add both. We're gonna add this guy here. And so here you go. So here's all your social. And these are all the ones that are automatically provided with GoDaddy. You don't have to use them all, but these are the ones that are provided. So if they show them on the page and they show them on the right-hand side. If you're on Facebook, you just put facebook.com/Chicago Dog Groomer. If you have a YouTube channel, same thing. So you just go on there and you start filling it out. The ones you don't fill out, they will not populate here. So that's one way to put it there. And now let's say on the bottom, we wanted to also put another one for social media. So again, we click add section, social feed. And then here, maybe we can tie in, connect it to Instagram, for example. See, if you have an Instagram business account, here's where you'll connect it. And then you'll start all your Instagram feed would automatically start posting on here as well. Anytime you post something new, it'll show up there. Okay, so again, one more time. Add section, social, and then you can play around with the social options here on the bottom right-hand side. Okay, next question.
Great. How do we add an age restriction to our site?
Add an age restriction. That's probably one of the only things that GoDaddy doesn't have, because when you're building on, for example, let's say WordPress, or you're building on another platform, those are what are known as plugins. It's like an automatic pop-up that will auto-populate anytime someone comes and visits your site. GoDaddy doesn't have that available to it. I'm not sure if maybe there's another software that you can subscribe to and then have that linked to your website. But when it comes to like 18 and older, 21 and older, it doesn't, that doesn't have that functionality through GoDaddy, unfortunately, one of the limitations.
Okay, thank you. We pay websites and domain one-time fees or year fees. Are there any other fees?
The only time that you'll pay is if you choose to pay monthly, or if you choose to pay yearly, then that'll be reoccurring. The domain names, usually you just pay once a year. For the first year, they give you a little bit of a break and you pay a penny for 2 years. And then after that, it's $20 for the year. After that, no, there's no additional charges unless you are adding other kind of technology that links to your site. For example, if you have a different booking software, you're going to pay separate for that booking software. So whatever you decide to add to it, those are the only additional costs. But through GoDaddy, no, it's just the monthly or the yearly fee for them to host your website on their account, and then the domain name, and then that's it. That's all you should ever have to pay. The GoDaddy does offer extras, such as privacy protection and all that stuff, but those are add-ons that you don't have to have.
Okay, thank you. How do you link your website to an e-commerce shop, a scheduling app, or a POS?
Okay, so that one we just did. So like, let's say you already have a scheduling site. For example, in the grooming world, there's tons of them, but there's one that we like to use that's called Mogo. So here's how that looks. If you can make any button, let's say, for example, that these are your products. And then this button, we want it to go to let's say that this was a service and not a product. Okay. You can schedule now, and then here, you can either click on page and it'll take you to another page right here within your website, or you can click it. This is external website, external URL, right? So if you have this service, and for example, we use a company called Mogo.com to book our software, or to do online bookings. Or this can be your online bookings, or it can be Squarespace. If you already have an online store on Squarespace, then you click on done. Now, anytime that they come to your website and they see this product and they clicked on it, it's going to send them. It's going to send them automatically to whatever website you said that it would send them to. So here's an example so you guys can see real life. This is a real life website. Now, this company is in Lisle. Now, let's say they want a book an appointment. They use an external site called Mogo. So they click on it, and this is a separate website that has nothing to do with GoDaddy, but this is right here. You see Mogo Pet. This is a booking software. Now each booking software, every software that has appointments or e-commerce platforms, they're more robust, that are industry specific, right? So you have companies out there that make booking softwares for barbers, booking softwares for construction people, booking softwares for restaurants. So you're going to Google booking software, / your industry, whatever your industry is. And it's going to give you the top, it'll auto populate, and then you do research, and then you do the free trials, and you see which one you like the most. And then once you have all your stuff set up, you're going to take this URL, you're going to copy it, and you're going to go back to your website. And where your button is, that's where you paste, right? And you go to done. And now this button, if I clicked on it when it was live, it'll send me here. And that's how you connect it. It's that easy. Okay. Same thing with products. All right. Okay. So I'm going to keep moving on just so we can finish this part. So we're done with the products and services. And so now we are going to photo gallery. Okay. So now it's time to show off your work. In the beginning, if you don't, if you don't have any pictures right now, if you're just getting started, just use some stock photos of some things that you would be doing, right? Use the photos that you have there, or don't put up the gallery page until you get at least 6 pictures, right? So you can give them something to look at. So you don't have to put a gallery page up right now if you don't have pictures, but if you do, great. So rule of thumb, use a good camera. A lot of the phones are really good with their cameras now. So you can just use your phone, clean photos. You can start with photo stocks, and then as you progress in your business life, always post new pictures. Okay. So you stay relevant, and so you can see new work and not old work. All right. So you go to gallery. So you see our work. We're going to click on that page, and then it's empty. Now, what are we missing? We're missing that introduction. All right. So we're going to go. Back over here to products and services. Again, just a quick recap. We're going to click on these 3 dots. We're going to duplicate this section, so we don't have to make it all over again. And then we're going to move this section. So we're going to click on the 3 dots again and then move it. And then we're going to go to see our work, which is our gallery page. We're going to move it. Okay, and now it's there. See our work. Now, if you want, on the top, you can have all these pictures and keep them the same for the introduction. This picture, so that you kind of have some structure to it, or you can change it on every page. There's websites that we've done that are the same on all, or they're different on all. This one I'm just showing you different on all, so you can see different examples. And again, the only reason I like to use the introduction is because of this button right here, right? It gives them something to do if they're ready to move forward after they've seen the information that's on the page. That's why we keep on adding this introduction. Okay. Now this picture, you see this picture is a little tall and it gives all this white space right here. So maybe that's not a good one to use. So this is a good example of what not to do. Really, you don't want all this empty space. So we're going to change this picture for something that fits maybe a little bit better. There we go. You see, it got rid of all that space because this picture isn't so tall. And then from here, we're going to hover over it. See, right now that button isn't showing up anymore. And sometimes it does that. But if you click on the green line, refresh my page. Okay, there it is. Okay, if sometimes the software stops working or doesn't look right for some reason, just refresh your page, and then it should reset it. Add section. On the right hand side, we're going to go to image gallery, and then here you go to photo gallery, and then you can pick around, pick which ones you like. A rule on this one is try to use smaller pictures because the bigger pictures take a longer time to load. So the slower your website is to load, the higher the bounce rate. What is bounce rate? Bounce rate is when someone comes and visits your website and automatically leaves, or within a short period of time, 1 or 2 second leaves because it's difficult to access your site. So we got to image gallery, photo gallery, and then we pick one. You pick whichever one you like. And then you can just start changing your photo gallery. You see how big this picture is? Same thing. So you want to kind of keep it the same. Maybe that one didn't work too well. So here's where you kind of play around with the pictures and the sizing. If you have to increase or decrease the size of your pictures. Okay. So again, one more time, I'm just going to show you one more time. Do is click on any picture on any part of the website, change image, and then you can view the stock images. If you don't see what you like, you can type in pretty specific what you're looking for. And then what they think is closest to it, they'll send it over to you. Okay. And so here, that's your photo gallery. You can continue to add to it, right? You can add more to it. But if you don't have anything right now, you can just not make this page. And the last page we're going to talk about is the contact us page. And then so here, same thing. We already talked about the form that they can fill out, your hours of operation. The only thing that we can add to it on the right-hand side is where it is. Yeah, on the right-hand side, you see on the bottom right where it says phone and email. Okay, and it starts popping up right here in the middle of the page. Okay. So that's that. If you have an address, a physical address, where they can come visit you or see your products. Now there's your address right there. Why do you want to have your address on your website? If someone's on there and they're on their phone, they can either copy and paste, or sometimes the phone will recognize that it's an address and it'll just give them a link and it'll automatically send it to their maps. Okay. So that's the contact us page. Here's more social media if you wanted to. If you didn't want that there, you can delete it. Okay. And so that's the whole 5 pages of the site. The last trick I want to show you is on this top part, on this home page, some people have logos, right? So if you click on the top header and you go to the right-hand side, we're going to start changing and make it look a little bit better. We can add what's called a promotional banner. And click on that. We're going to turn it on. And now you see in the top part, bam. Here you can put promotions, what you have going on for that month. If you want people to book you, here's an example over here. On this one, she uses that to book the appointments. All right. So let's say we're just getting ready to open. Let's see. Open. Okay. And then so if you would leave it by itself, it's gonna, there's gonna be a plain bar. You can do seasonal on the right-hand side. Let's say we're going into fall. What it does is it adds, oh, there we go. It adds little animations for whatever the season is. So when your page is live, these little leaves will start falling. If it's summertime, these palm trees will be moving. Wintertime, the snow will be spinning. Okay. And you can leave it off or you can turn on the animation. And then see, now they're moving a little bit. Now you can add a link, right? If they click on it, add a link. And then from here, I want them to go to book with us. So I want them to call me, contact, and they're done. And so now on this page, it makes it look a little bit more professional, a little bit nicer on the top. Anytime they click, now it's going to go book online and it will send them wherever you want to send them. If you have a logo, okay, right here it says logo, click on that. Now, right now it just has our name, but we're going to upload, right? So you can have one of the pictures that you've already uploaded, or you can upload your own logo that you already have saved. Now, I don't have, I'm just going to use mine just as an example. so you can see what it looks like. And then you can play around with it. And then bam, see, so now there's your logo on the top. Okay. So again, how do we do that? You click on the top header part. Here's a promotional banner, which is this. Here's your logo, which is the guy right here in the middle. If you click on it, you can make it bigger or smaller. If you're getting a logo made, have it what is done in the format called PNG. What does that do? A PNG type photo will provide you with a translucent background, so it's not white. A JPEG, which is a regular picture, the background would have been white on it. Okay, so if, for example, if my whole website was purple and I had a PNG, then they wouldn't have anything behind it and it would just be green on purple. But if I had a JPEG, then there would be a white box, you know, right in the middle of my purple website, which I think this looks cleaner, right? When there's nothing, when it's transparent and you don't have anything behind it. So if you're getting a logo made, have them send it to you in a JPEG and a PNG format. So now we're going to put it down there. And let's see. Okay, so now again, we're in the top header part. We have an action button. That's this band right here. Now, for the people that wanted to do social media, you can also put social media here as well. Click on social, enable the icons, and now your icons, once you start filling them in, they start popping up over here on the left-hand side.
Fernando, we're getting close to the 11:30 mark. Do we want to start taking the rest of the questions?
One more thing, and then I'm done.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the social, and then right here, I always like to put a phone number. And then now there it is. Now all this information on top, no matter what page you go to, it's always going to stay the same. So now people know, okay, now there's a phone number. I can just scroll up. If I'm over here, where's that phone number again? Just scroll up. There's a phone number. I can book online here. I can see the social media here, right? So this gives it a more finished look with more options. And that's the top. Okay. Photo together, contact us. All right. All right, guys, so that is the conclusion of how to make a website in 2 hours. You will have this video accessible to you. If anyone has any questions, here's my information to reach out to me. If you can use my site, fostermaven.com, to kind of look at the structure and the flow, and you can copy it as far as how it's built. And then, but yeah, if anyone has any other questions, I'm here. And so, yeah, right now I'll open it up to Q&A and see what questions everybody has that I can answer for you.
Great. We do have a few questions. We'll be able to take about 3 or 4. How do you make coupons show once someone opens your website?
How to make coupons show. Okay. You can either tell them about the coupon, you know, somewhere in your site, or if you have a coupon, let's say, for example, on Facebook, you can provide it to them there. But I mean, you can put it anywhere. If you coupons, I like to use, if you have any kind of specials or anything going on for that month, I like to use this top banner because it's always accessible. It's always seen at the top. You can, and then people, it's the first place where people see. Right, so you can put it anywhere on the site, on any part of the page. But this is where I like to put it on the top. And then I like to link it to, you can create another specials page if you wanted to. And then you can list, you know, you can list right here, just like on your products and services. You can list your products with the coupon special, or how they got to use it, if they got to tell you at the time of checkout or over the phone, etc. But if you're using coupons or specials, I like to use the top bar.
Great, thank you. We're getting a bunch of great job. This was very good presentation. Best tutorial we have ever had.
Thank you.
Learned so much. Thank you. Thank you. Great presentation. Fantastic demonstration. They love the step-by-step best demos. Awesome. Again, I want to let everyone know that this was recorded and will be posted at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. I put that in the chat. I'm trying to see if there is any other questions.
There's one that I see that I want to answer. Well, someone
Sure.
asked, you have a nonprofit organization, what do you do to get donations? So just the same exact way how we did it, but you're going to treat the product or the service as a donation. Okay. So like, let's say, for example, your donations go to GoFundMe.com. You already have an account set up there. And then let's say right here, if you're trying to do a fundraising event, events, right? And then, you can label it as silver member or whatever it is. I'm just trying to do this fast in the sake of time. And then, they're going to donate a lot. Okay, $15,000 table. All right. Donation amount, schedule, and then you can change the button. Click on the button. Right. And so now it says donate now, and you're going to send them to where they can donate to. You're going to put in the website. You're going to go done. And now people can donate, straight through here, and it'll send them to the site. So if you're a nonprofit, that's how you can do that. So if you watch the class again, just treat the products or services as donations instead of products or services.
Great. Two more questions, and then we should be good. How do you check your website stats?
Website stats. Okay. So that's more in-depth class on how your website is performing. You can, the best way to do that would probably be through Google Analytics. So when you create your Google business account, you can submit your website on Google Analytics, and then you can use their platform for free to see your traffic. All right. So that's something that I would have to show. We don't have time for that, but if you want to do your own research, research Google Analytics, and then there's tons of videos on YouTube how to work
Great.
through. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That last question, do you have a comparison of website companies showing pros and cons? Also, which are best for e-commerce and which are best for a business with a lot of photos and images? So just kind of what you spoke about earlier, other option besides GoDaddy or.
So let me show you. Let me go back up here to this first one. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you have Godaddy.com, Squarespace, Wix, and Weebly. GoDaddy and Wix, I don't have a side-by-side comparison, just hands-on knowledge. GoDaddy and Wix are the easiest, in my opinion and my experience, to use as a drag and drop, right? Because you saw we just built that whole site in 2 hours. It was fairly simple. I did it a little bit faster because I have more practice at it, right? When it comes to, here's my recommendation if you have a large e-commerce store. Research e-commerce platforms, but build your website separate, because e-commerce platforms have more functionality to just be e-commerce, where they can store your stuff. GoDaddy has an e-commerce platform, like I showed you guys, but you don't have to use them, because again, you can use links to send them to other places, such as Etsy and whatnot. Ada, which one's the best? Man, I really like, and I've used them all. I really like GoDaddy. Why? Because of the price. For the cost, is not that expensive to do. There are all their things already there, and you can use it with other websites. But other than that, you'd have to watch like another tutorial or something on a different platform. But these are the main four. These are the main four on the right.
Great, thank you so much. That is all the questions we have time for today. Again, the webinar is recorded and will be posted at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. For any questions, please email bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. I want to thank our awesome presenter. This was such a great webinar. We really appreciate your taking your time out and presenting for us today. I want to wish everyone a safe and happy weekend. Thank you so much.
All righty, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.